Level 1. The Kid Who Copies. You are 8 years old. You sit on the floor with a stack of manga volumes taller than your head. You do not read them. You study them. You press your face close to the page. You count the lines in the shadow under a character's jaw. You try to understand how the same face can look terrified on one panel and invincible on the next. Then you pick up a pencil and copy it. It looks nothing like the original. The proportions are wrong. The hand looks like a bundle of sausages. You stare at what you drew. Then you look at what the artist drew. You feel something you cannot name yet. Not shame. Something more like hunger. You do it again. Still wrong. Again. A little less wrong. Your mother asks what you want to be when you grow up. You say a manga artist. She smiles the way adults smile when they have decided not to take something seriously. You go back to your room and keep drawing. This is the only level where no one can hurt you. You do not know yet how hard this is. You think it is only a matter of time and practice. In some ways, you are completely right. You will keep getting better as long as you keep going. In other ways, you have no idea what is coming. But that is fine. Not knowing is what lets you start. Level 2. The Art Student. You are 16. You have filled 12 notebooks. One day a quiet kid in the back row shows you his sketchbook. His drawings are better than yours. Much better. You feel something shift inside your chest. Something uncomfortable and important. You start studying seriously. You buy books on human anatomy. You practice drawing hands for 2 weeks because hands are the hardest thing. You learn about perspective, about negative space, about how to lead a reader's eye across a page. You realize that drawing characters is only 1% of what manga requires. You also have to write stories, design worlds, build characters whose inner lives feel real on a single page. Learn pacing. Learn silence. Learn when a panel with no words hits harder than a page of dialogue. Your parents begin having the conversation, not out loud, and the way they look at each other when you mention manga school, and the way your father leaves engineering brochures on the kitchen table without saying anything. You apply to a manga course in Tokyo anyway, not instead of everything else, alongside it, just to see what you are made of. No one tells you that tens of thousands of people apply every year, that most of them never publish a single chapter professionally. You will find that out later. Right now you are 16 and the notebooks are piling up, and every day you are a little better than yesterday. That still counts for something. Level 3. The Assistant. You are 21. You live in a 7 square meter apartment in Tokyo. It smells like ink and instant noodles. You work as a manga assistant. You fill in backgrounds, apply screen tone, add speed lines. You do not draw the important things. You draw the things that make the important things look finished. The job barely covers rent. You work from noon until 4 in the morning before deadlines. You sleep on a folding mat in the corner of the studio. You eat from the convenience store 200 meters away. You have eaten there so many times you can describe every item on the shelf from memory. But you are learning. You watch how your sensei roughs out a page in 20 minutes, a page that would take you 2 hours. You see how he looks at a panel and knows immediately what it needs. A shadow here, a shifted angle there. You cannot explain that instinct yet, but you are starting to absorb it. After studio work ends, you go home and work on your own story. Some nights you manage 30 minutes before your eyes stop working. Some nights the sun comes up before you do. Your parents call once a week. You say everything is fine. You do not mention the broken heater or the 11 days without talking to anyone outside the studio. This is not suffering to you. This is exactly where you need to be. That might be delusion, or it might be the thing that separates the people who make it from the people who almost did. Level 4. The Rejected One. You have submitted your one-shot to 3 publishers. You have received 3 rejections. The first was almost kind. A handwritten note from an editor at Shueisha. Your art is strong. The main character lacks motivation. We encourage you to resubmit. You rewrote the story. You resubmitted. You did not hear back. The second was a form letter. Your work does not meet our current editorial needs. You are not sure what that means. You are not sure anyone does. The third never came at all. You are 24. Your friends have real jobs. One just bought an apartment. Another's getting married in spring. You said yes to the wedding without checking if you could afford the train ticket. One winter night you sit at your desk and stare at the storyboards on the wall. You have looked at them too many times. They have become wallpaper. You cannot see them anymore. You do not quit that night. But you understand for the first time why people do. You take 2 weeks away. You walk around the city. You eat things that are not onigiri. You call your mother. Then you go back to the desk. Not because the doubt is gone, because it is still there, and you decide to work beside it anyway. That quiet decision has no witness, no applause, but it is one of the most important things you ever do. Level 5. The Newcomer Award. Your name appears in print for the first time. An honorable mention in Shonen Jump's Newcomer Prize. Your one-shot appears in a supplementary issue. 40,000 copies. Most readers will flip past it on their way to the established series. Some will stop. An editor named Miyamoto calls you. He speaks in short, direct sentences. He says your story structure is loose, but the emotional core is there. He asks if you have other ideas. You tell him you have 14. He asks for the 3 strongest. You spend 4 days choosing 3 from 14. He wants to develop one into a serialization proposal. 4 weeks. A character Bible. A world outline. A Chapter 1 draft. You are still working as an assistant 3 days a week. Your manuscript gets the other 4. The proposal meeting is in a conference room that smells like old carpet and coffee. 2 editors you have never met sit beside Miyamoto. They ask why this character makes this choice, what the central tension of the series is, what the story looks like at Volume 20. You had not thought about Volume 20. You had only been focused on Volume 1. That is both honest and a problem. They ask you to revise and come back. You do. 3 times. Then the proposal's accepted. On the train home you sit very still, not celebrating, just sitting with it. The thing you have been moving toward for a decade has started, and you understand it has not gotten easier. It has just changed shape. Level 6. The serialized mangaka. Your series runs every week. Not every month. Every week. 19 pages. 7 days. Then again. 50 issues a year. No holidays. If your chapter is late, the magazine has an empty slot, and none of that can be undone. Your studio has 2 assistants now. You are 27 and 2 people depend on your schedule to pay their rent. The weekly rhythm. Monday is the name draft. Tuesday is the editor meeting. Wednesday through Friday you pencil. Saturday and Sunday you ink. Sunday night it goes to print. The ranking comes out every week inside the magazine. Your series sits in the middle. Not safe. Not in danger. The readers are there. You can feel them. A 14-year-old from Osaka writes to say your main character made her feel less alone. You pin that letter above your desk and do not take it down. You miss your friend's wedding in May. The chapter did not cooperate that week. You send a gift and a voice message recorded at 2 in the morning. Your friend says he understands. You have not fully forgiven yourself. You tell yourself you will make it up to him. You are not sure when that will be. Your right wrist starts hurting in November. You buy a brace and draw with it on. There is no week where stopping for an afternoon feels possible. You do not see a doctor until January. The doctor says the inflammation will get worse without rest. You nod. You go home and finish the chapter. This is not tragedy. It is the cost of making something every week that is worth reading. Some weeks you fail. Some weeks you succeed. You never know which until the letters come in. Level 7, the one who almost quit. Your series has run for 3 years, 144 chapters. The editor calls on a Wednesday. Rankings have been declining for 2 months. The editorial board wants to discuss the story's direction. You have learned what that phrase means. The cancellation conversation is not here yet, but it is in the building. You walk around the city. The same walk you took when you were 24 and did not know if the work was any good. Same streets. Older body. Different weight on your shoulders. You go back to Volume 1 and read the whole series in one sitting. Somewhere around Chapter 60 you remember what the story was supposed to be about. Not the plot. The reason. The feeling that made you start. You had drifted from it. Gradually. The way you drift from anything when you are too close for too long. You call the editor. You tell him you know what the problem is. You send a revised arc plan. He reads it overnight. In the morning he says he thinks it can work. The next 10 chapters are the best of the series. The ranking climbs back. You do not tell anyone how close it was. How close the whole thing came to ending, not with a finale but with a quiet deletion from the schedule. That is private. Between you and the blank page and the version of yourself at 24 who kept going. Level 8. The completed work. The last chapter publishes on a Thursday. You are in the studio when it goes live. Your assistants congratulate you. You make tea. You sit at your desk. You do not know what to do with your hands. You chose the ending. That matters more than people realize. Most manga ends because the publisher ends it. Yours ended because you decided the story was complete. 12 collected volumes sit on a shelf in your studio. 12 volumes of a story that did not exist before you invented it. The first volume is a slightly different color than you wanted, a printing error no one caught in time. You notice it every time you look. The letters are different now. They are no longer asking what happens next. They are telling you what the story meant to them. A man in his 40s writes to say he read it with his son every week. It became the way they talked about difficult things without talking about them directly, things they could not say face to face. They said them through your characters instead. You read that letter 4 times. An interviewer asks if you are proud of the work. You take longer to answer than they expect. You see everything that is wrong with it. Every arc where the pacing was off. Every chapter you would handle differently now. But underneath all of that is something simpler. You made something that did not exist before. Thousands of people read it. Some of them are different in some small way because of it. You will never know which ones. That might be the truest thing about making anything. It leaves your hands and becomes someone else's. Level 9. The Sensei. You have been called Sensei for 7 years. You have never gotten comfortable with it. You take on 3 assistants at a time. You try to choose them the way Miyamoto once chose you. Not only for technical skill, for something harder to name. A quality of attention. A willingness to sit with the problem. Your second series is running. Deliberately different from the first. Your publisher suggested something familiar. Something readers of the first series could settle into. You understood the logic. You sat with it for a week. Then you went in a different direction anyway. One of your assistants has started submitting to newcomer prizes on her own time. You see her storyboards on her desk. You say nothing unless she asks. The most important thing you can give her is not feedback. It is permission to keep going. She already has the skill. She just needs someone not to stop her. Young artists ask you how to break into the industry. You tell them the truth. There is no system, no formula, no correct sequence of steps. There is only the work, and the willingness to bring it back after it fails, and 10,000 small decisions that slowly add up to a voice that is yours. Some of them want a shorter answer. You understand. You once wanted a shorter answer too. Level 10. The Living Classic. At a signing in Osaka, a woman in her 30s brings a copy of Volume 1. The spine is cracked. The pages are soft from being read many times. There is a note tucked inside in different handwriting than hers. She tells you her father used to read it. He passed away 2 years ago. She wanted to bring it. She does not say more than that. You sign it. You hold it a moment longer than the other books before you hand it back. Journalists ask what you are most proud of. You take longer to answer than they expect. The answer is not the awards, not the sales numbers, not the university syllabi with your name on them. It is the drawer in your studio with 47 rejected manuscripts inside. The stories that did not work. The characters who never made it to print. The ideas that collapsed after chapter 3. You keep them because they are the record of who you were before anyone called you a classic. They are proof that everything under this was built from failure. One refused page at a time. That is not something to hide. That is the whole foundation. You open a new sketchbook. The paper is the same as it was when you were 8 years old. The pencil moves. The lines are wrong. Then less wrong. The same hunger is still there. You did not let it leave.